Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Saturday, December 26, 2020. Hope y'all had a safe and wonderful Christmas, and thanks for joining me. I'd like to bring you said information out of Nashville, Tennessee. It is pertaining to the bomb that detonated in downtown Nashville yesterday morning, and if you need verification for the storyline, the Tennessean is the source. Nashville explosion. Investigators search Antioch address Saturday as hundreds of tips pour in. And there also is a video in the said commentary. A person of interest has been identified in connection with the Christmas Day explosion in Nashville. A law enforcement source confirmed Saturday no arrests have been made. Investigators with the FBI, ATF, and the Metro Nashville Police Department converged to the 100 block of Bakertown Road in Antioch just before 11 a.m. Local and federal agents have been in and out of a duplex for court-authorized activity following information from the investigation, according to Daryl DeBusk, an FBI public affairs officer. DeBusk said no arrest has been made. A team wearing tactical gear marked with both ATF and FBI insignias entered the residence and cleared the home around 2:30 p.m. The bomb squad confirmed no one was inside, according to FBI personnel at the scene. An evidence team entered the residence around that time to conduct a search. Neighbors told the Tennessean an RV similar to the one in the explosion was parked at the home within the last 2 weeks. There was no sign of a similar vehicle at the Antioch residence on Saturday. Authorities declined to comment on the activity in Antioch during an afternoon update. Stephen Stone, 61, lives on the street and said he recalled seeing the RV parked outside the home. Most of the homes on the street aside from his are rentals, he said. I'm fairly confident we will be able to identify an individual or ascertain what has occurred. We've just been taking some time, said Douglas Korneski, special agent in charge of the Memphis field office. 500 tips, no known threats. The FBI leading the case said more than 500 tips have been reported in the past 24 hours. The investigation continues, including working with this behavioral analyst unit in Quantico. Let me reiterate that Nashville is safe. We feel and know we have no known threats at this time, Metro Police Chief John Drake said Saturday. He urged the public to be patient as officials work to clear the crime scene as quickly as possible to allow residents and businesses to return. Nashville was startled awake Christmas morning by the sound of a large explosion downtown that is still being investigated. Several blocks surrounding the bombing site remain locked down Saturday morning as authorities continue to investigate the crime scene that left 3 people injured and the discovery of what may be human remains. And let me say, ABC News has confirmed that those remains are human. Fire Chief William Swan said the 3 people were treated for minor injuries and The 3 people were treated for minor injuries and released Friday. Officials working around the clock were seen guarding the perimeter as detectives along with agents from the FBI and ATF tried to determine what caused the blast out of a parked RV, which they've declared was an intentional act. Police representatives said Saturday afternoon investigators are still trying to determine the source of the sound of the gunshots reported by witnesses Friday morning before the explosion. MNPD spokesperson Don Aaron told the Tennessean it was unclear if the sound came from the inside of the RV, the recording it played, or elsewhere. MNPD spokesperson Chris Mumford did not expect the FBI lead investigators on the case to release immediate updates on the tissue found near the blast site that Drake said could be human remains. But as I told you all, I just verified with another source, ABC, that they are confirming that they are human remains. AT&T deploys portable cell sites, reports overnight fire. An AT&T outage connected to the explosion continued to affect many customers in 911 operations Saturday. Outages occurred several hours after the blast as the company said building net damage and access to power has been an issue. AT&T said a fire reignited overnight inside the building, leading to an evacuation. Currently, teams are on site working with safety and structural engineers drilling access holes into the building and attempting to reconnect power to critical equipment. Nashville Fire Department Chief William Swan said restoring services could take days to complete. He was hopeful that the repairs could be made within the next 2 days. We're working closely with them to ensure we can get communication established back safely, he said at a Saturday afternoon news conference. They're here to work 24 hours a day. It's a big operation with the building itself. Most of the Metro Nashville Police Department's administrators and officers use AT&T, and their phones went down Friday, according to Mumford. Mumford confirmed the department uses FirstNet, AT&T's proprietary network, for public safety agencies and first responders. The company has deployed 2 portable cell sites operating in downtown, with many other portable sites deployed in the region. Teams are also working quickly as possible on rerouting additional services to other facilities in the region. The company sent national disaster recovery teams to Nashville area Friday. Users around the country reported disruptions in service, but there was a concentration in the Nashville area and around Middle Tennessee, growing in reach from Kentucky to Alabama, northern Alabama, as more reports came in. Flights were temporarily halted out of Nashville International Airport on Friday afternoon because of the communications issues stemming from the explosion. By evening, most flights had resumed, but the potential for delays remained. Metro has set up new Hub Nashville portal for those seeking assistance and resources. Residents can submit requests for help, business support, and also sign up for volunteer opportunities. There's also a link to submit any tips about the explosion to the FBI. Please call 615-862-7400 with any information. The city is also working with the American Red Cross to house and give resources to the dozens of residents displaced or affected by the explosion. A reception center has been set up at East Park Community Center at 700 Woodland Street. And basically, this is going to recap what happened on Christmas morning. Reports of shots fired were made to Nashville Police at 5:30 a.m. Nashville Police and fire crews responded to the area, 2nd Avenue and Commerce Street, and saw no evidence of any shooting. Instead, they noticed a suspicious RV parked outside an AT&T building before 6 a.m. Friday, according to police. Officers and witnesses heard a recording from the RV giving a dire warning: "Evacuate now. There is a bomb. A bomb is inside this vehicle and will explode." At least 6 Nashville police officers acted quickly to start evacuating people from nearby buildings after alerting the department's hazardous devices unit. A 15-minute countdown began to broadcast with the looped message playing in between. After the countdown was over, the message began to play again until around 6:30 a.m. when police said a significant explosion happened as the bomb squad was en route. Police and firefighters responded to the area about 6:45 a.m. Metro Police Chief John Drake said a motive in the explosion was not known, nor has a suspect or person of interest been named. Drake said it was unclear if anyone was inside the RV when it exploded. He confirmed tissue that could be human remains was found in the area of the explosion. Authorities are investigating to determine if it is connected with the explosion. The investigation has focused on an older model RV that police said was spotted in the area after 1 a.m. Friday, hours before the explosion. Police released a surveillance photo of the vehicle and asked for the public's help. And there's also a sad picture of the RV in this commentary. The FBI is leading the investigation with the help from the ATF and other federal, state, and local agencies. Several people were taken to the department's central precinct for questioning, but authorities declined to give more details Friday. All downtown Nashville roads, including interstates leading into the city, were shut down or rerouted early Friday. Traffic around downtown is being rerouted away from the investigation perimeter. The downtown area will be sealed off for further investigation and to make sure everything is completely safe, Cooper said. He signed an order putting a curfew in place from 4:30 p.m. Sunday. The areas affected are bounded by James Robertson Parkway, 4th Avenue North, Broadway, and the Cumberland River. And that is the said information by the Tennessean. If you need a source for information, sorry, I was a bit winded. 9 minutes, wow. As I state, this source I brought you tells you of the said information that their FBI agents are at Antioch, Tennessee home. That is an area outside of Nashville, Tennessee. For those who are not familiar with the Nashville, Tennessee area, ABC News reports that those remains found at the scene of the downtown explosion are human remains. Obviously, they got a court warrant, because that's mentioned in the source of court activity. Basically, they're saying a judge signed a warrant to go to a said residence to search. And as I stated in this article, an RV was not located at the said address, and nor was a person at the said address. And if you go to the local news, you will see pictures of the said buildings. It's like separate buildings. I don't know if they're townhouses or whatever. The way they looked, like they could be townhouses, because they had windows at the top and windows at the bottom. And as this article is stating, that they're called duplexes. But DeBusk, who is a spokesperson for the Nashville area Bureau of Investigations, gave the said commentary in a live feed. And he also used to work for the Knoxville Police Department, for those who did not know that. I believe Knoxville Sheriff's Department. Just a little information for you. But anyway, this is a tragic day for the South, for the Nashville area. As you see, this bombing affected many people who have AT&T services. Northern Alabama, Kentucky, and now they're saying other parts of the United States was affected, which I had not heard that. So it goes to show you something's fishy, very fishy, and I'm going to tell you what I think, because I always do. I think this person knew that that was the hub, and that that building serviced AT&T customers, and that's why they parked that RV there. I think this was intentional towards the AT&T hub. I could be wrong, but my thing is, that's probably one of the biggest companies on the block, I won't doubt. And when I heard that it affected people's services, the first thing I thought was, oh yes, this was definitely intentional. And the person who had that bomb detonated, the person who put that bomb together, orchestrated this deviant plan, parked that RV outside that street, knew that that was the hub for AT&T, and they knew it would affect citizens' services around the Nashville area and outside of Nashville, Tennessee. So I surely believe AT&T was the target. But as I state, I could be wrong. I will bring you more information, because naturally this is a growing story. Things change at the drop of a hat. 1 minute I'm bringing you information about a suspect's home being investigated. By the time I jump off here, there's already more information. But as I state, I will jump on according to the said information. I will always bring you a source to verify the information. And let's send out prayers to the people of Nashville, Tennessee, the AT&T customers that have been affected, because naturally it shut down police 911 calls. So if something was going on in your home or the area in Kentucky, Nashville, outside, you couldn't even dial 911. And your house could have been on fire. Someone's house could have been on fire. There could have been a break-in. Someone could have been injured, car wreck, anything. And they wouldn't have been able to dial 911. So this is serious business here. Very serious business. Prayers to all of the people of Nashville, Tennessee. Those affected by this deviant act of terrorism, as I call it, homegrown, American soil. American possibly did this. And a native or a resident in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Even worse. Prayers for the responders who went in and helped, because they did risk their lives to help get citizens out of the building. They didn't have much time to even do that. You're talking about a 15, 20-minute window to go from door to door and help people. And another source I bring to you, I believe it's ABC News, 41 buildings were affected by the blast downtown Nashville. And it is by the grace of God that no other citizens were injured or killed from this bombing. I want to thank you for joining me I will be back later with an update pertaining to this horrendous story. This is deviant. It is the devil's work. It is so honoring and disrespectful. Because whatever this person's problems were, they should have kept it to him or herself. And orchestrating this plan probably took days or months to concoct. Because naturally, you got to buy all the little material to build the bomb. And you didn't care if it hurt anyone. And some people think, well, they didn't really want to do anything because they waited till dark 30 when no one was out. But people live downtown. People live near the AT&T building. So when you're detonating a bomb, you don't know who's going to be affected and who could be harmed or killed by an explosion. This is sickening. And I hope they get to the bottom of it and they get to said information. I will bring you that information. And I thank you for joining me on this chilly, chilly day in the high 10. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Mask up. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. I will be going live later on this tonight. So please stay tuned and join me. It'll be just a open chat. We'll talk about various subject matter. And you're welcome to join me. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.